Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim and this is Expedition 3 Pages, and today I am doing a book haul. So I haven't done a book haul in a really long time. I can't even remember the last time that I did one, but last month was my birthday and I received some books from Spencer and my mum, and I also got some birthday money as well, so I spent that on books obviously. So yeah, I wanted to share with you what I received because I haven't really bought many books in the last year and a half other than like getting some on Everend every month and getting things out the library and, you know, buying things for book clubs. So it was really nice to receive books that were just because books. Like, I'm just getting them because it's my birthday and that's fun. So yeah, on my birthday morning I woke up and I received a gift from Spencer that was like thick and kind of wide and heavy, and I was like, what is this? Like, I couldn't figure out what on earth it could be, and then I opened it and it was 3 books. So I was very excited by that, because what is better than not knowing what a gift is that isn't shaped like a book, and then it turns out it's 3 books. I mean, amazing. So yeah, Spencer, he's my partner, he very kindly went on my want to read list and chose some books for me. Luckily they were ones that I haven't already read, because I have not updated that want to read list in a really long time. I need to go through it and filter stuff out and all that kind of stuff. I can't remember why I put these on my wish list. I can remember why I put one on my wish list, but I'll start with the first 2 where I don't remember. The first one is Pink Slime by Fernanda Trias, and this is kind of like a dystopian book, I think, that's all about, well, it's like climate change fiction about a toxic algae that blows through the streets of this city. The wealthy are able to go inland for safety, but that leaves a whole load of people who don't have the money to do that, and they're left living in these abandoned shelters and kind of trying to fend for themselves. So yeah, it does sound really interesting. I'm excited to read it. However, it does sound scary. Yeah, I hope nothing like this ever happens. So if I jinxed us, I don't know. So you do seem to be following a woman who is, it says, trying to disentangle herself from 2 relationships that once meant everything to her, and looking after a young boy that's been placed in her care. So yeah, I think this will be interesting. I also think it will be terrifying and sad. So up my alley, obviously. The next book that Spence bought me was Monstrum by Lottie Mills. This is a short story collection that I don't really know much about. I must have heard about it and thought it sounded really interesting and put it on. It says the characters in these unforgettable stories are born into a society that cannot accept their difference. Labelled grotesque, deviant or damaged, they have a choice: contort themselves in a bid to fit in or find another way to live. Oh, maybe these are linked, I don't know. It says, so a father and daughter take refuge on an isolated beach. A young woman opts to receive a perfect, pain-free body. A little girl agrees to join the circus. Eventually, however, the outside world begins to intrude on their imagined safe havens. They must flee at once. Better yet, they must find a way to take revenge. So yeah, that does sound really good. I think I have heard a few people now that have read this, so I'm hoping that I will like it as much as others have liked it. Okay, then the third book that he got me was Northwoods by Daniel Mason, and this I know I put on my TBR because of Ruby from Ruby Red. I watched her read it and she really loved it. I don't massively know what this one is either. It just says, over 4 centuries, a single house deep in the woods of New England is home to runaways and visionaries, inseparable twins, a lovelorn painter, a desperate mother, a ruthless conman. Each of them has a story to tell. Prepare to be changed. Yeah, sounds really, really intriguing. And there are so many reviews in this that are like, it's amazing, this is the best book. Like, it's like literal pages and pages of reviews. So yeah, I'm excited to give this a go and see what it's all about. Okay, then my mum got me a book as well. She got me a special edition signed book, which is very exciting. And this is by the author Natalie Haynes. It's one of her fiction books and it's called No Friend to This House. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. I do love a good mythology retelling. I'm actually surprised Mum got me this because she does not like mythology retellers. I think we read Circe and it was not up her street. So I'm surprised that she got me this, but it is a really beautiful edition. I love the sprayed edges. It's all like red on the top, and it is signed as well. So yeah, it's actually signed on the main page. So maybe she signed the actual book rather than just the slot-in sheet, which is quite cool. I don't know that for certain, but that's what it looks like. I did read Natalie Haynes's non-fiction book about different women in mythology, and that was really interesting. I enjoyed that book a lot, so I'm hoping that I'm going to like her fictional writing. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is about Jason and the Argonauts. It says, "This is what no one tells you in the song sung about Jason and the Argo. This part of his quest has been forgotten by everyone but me." I wonder if I should read Jason and the Argonauts, or at least look up what that story is about before reading this one, just to get a little bit of context, because if she's fleshed it out, then I'm not going to really know what she's fleshed out. Although, to be honest, anything from a female perspective is usually the fleshed out part, because there was not much of that back in the day. So yeah, thank you to Mum for my book. I'm excited to read it. Hopefully I'll get to it soon. Then we got 3 that I bought myself. I did actually buy one of them. I can't actually remember when I bought it, but I do think it was fairly recently. So I've included it in this haul because, yeah, I think it was recent enough that I can do that. But I added to my Kazuo Ishiguro collection and I bought The Buried Giant. Yeah, I'm very excited to read this. I do have a few now of his that I haven't read on my shelves. I've got The Unconsoled, which is nuts. I actually am halfway through that book, but I put it down ages ago and I need to pick it back up again. I don't think I can restart The Unconsoled because if you've read it, you know it's a lot. But it is really fascinating to read and I'm excited to carry on with that. Also on my shelves that I haven't read, I've got Clara and the Sun, which is coming out as a movie soon, if not already. And so I'm really excited to read that one soon. And so I probably shouldn't have bought another one to add to my collection before I'd read those, but I did buy The Buried Giant. So I did buy it and I'm excited to read this. I do really like his writing. I especially loved Never Let Me Go. I know that's a bit of a hit and miss book, but I really, really liked it a lot. This one, it says, "The Buried Giant begins as a couple, Axel and Beatrice, set off across a troubled land of mist and rain in the hope of finding a son they have not seen for years. They expect to face many hazards, some strange and otherworldly, but they cannot yet foresee how their journey will reveal to them dark and forgotten corners of their love for one another." So yeah, I'm excited to read this one. The next 2 books that I bought, I ended up buying with my birthday money that 2 people very kindly gifted me via Ko-fi. Thank you guys so much for gifting me that for my birthday. I really appreciate it. And because of that, I was able to buy these 2 books. I do have a bit of cash left over from that as well, so I do plan on ordering soon the paperback version of Sunrise on the Reaping by Susanna Collins, because that's the next book in my Hunger Games reading thing that I'm doing, and I really wanted to wait for the paperback because I've got the rest of them in the paperback version, so I want it to match on my shelves. So I've been waiting. I have got the audiobook, but I've just been waiting to listen to that and then read it along at the same time because I like doing that. So yeah, I will probably use my birthday money to buy that. It comes out in August as far as I know. But yeah, the first book that I ended up buying was Tar Baby by Toni Morrison. So this also adds to my collection of Toni Morrison books. So I did have a good time adding to collections that I want to have. I was trying to read Toni Morrison books in order. So this actually isn't the next one on the list. The next one on the list technically is Song of Solomon. However, I did just read, I'm going to go off frame a little bit to grab this, but I did just read Love by Toni Morrison because I was reading this for a book club and I ended up really liking this. I feel like the more I sit with it, the more I like it as well. So yeah, I've already gone out of order, so this could well be the next book of Toni Morrison's that I read. This says, "Into a white millionaire's Caribbean mansion comes Jardine, a sophisticated graduate of the Sorbonne, art historian, a black American now living in Paris and Rome. Then there's Son, a criminal on the run, uneducated, violent, contemptuous. A young black American of extreme beauty from small town Florida. As Morrison follows their affair, she charts all the nuances of obligation and betrayal between blacks and whites, masters and servants, and men and women." So yeah, I'm sure like the other books of Toni Morrison's that I've read that this is going to be challenging to read, technically, difficult and hard topics, but essentially worth it in the end because yeah, it definitely packs a punch and I would probably reread Toni Morrison's books, which is why I've been collecting them. I feel like I have to reread them because there are definitely things that I have not grasped when I've been reading them, and especially with Love, it was good to read this for a book club and talk it through as well. Once I finished this, I kind of did some Googling for things that I was a little bit confused about, and because I did that, I now look back on this and think I want to reread you again, you know? Even though it's difficult at times. I'm sure Tar Baby will be the same. I'm sure it will. Anyway, yeah, so that was book number 1 that I got with that money. And the other book that I got is for a book club, but I do want to read it anyway. Like, I wanted to read it anyway. It's not like I'm only buying it because of the book club. And it is Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor. So this story follows a young woman, I assume? I don't know if she's young, actually. Oh yeah, she suddenly dropped from her university job. Her latest novel was rejected. All in the middle of her sister's wedding, her life is upended. So yeah, it says she's disabled, she's unemployed, she's got a lot going on, and so she decides to write a book that is out of her genre, out of her usual genre. She decides to write a science fiction book, and it says she writes a science fiction drama about androids and AI after the extinction of humanity. So that sounds really good. And this book is like interwoven, so it's her story that she's written alongside her own story as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. We're going to be reading this next for the crafting book club. So my crafting book club, essentially we read the book, we come together, we discuss it like a normal book club, and then we take 45 minutes to do a crafting sprint and create something that is inspired by this book. Or whatever book we're reading. We had the live show for the last one last night, and it was really fun, and I actually used some watercolour pencils for the first time to create some artwork. It wasn't very good, but it was the first time I used some watercolour pencils, so you know, that's fine. And yeah, I'm excited to see what we can all create from this, because this is now like vastly different to the other books that we've read so far for it. We've read quite whimsical reads. This one is a lot more contemporary kind of vibe to it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we can create from this. Although it's sci-fi, so I'm sure if we wanted to go whimsy and like, you know, out of this world, we can do as well. So yeah, thank you so much to you guys who gifted me money on Ko-fi. I really, really appreciate it. And I was able to buy these books because of it as well. So yeah, thank you so much. So that's everything for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am so excited for all the new books on my shelves, and I just need to get reading, you know, I need to get reading my physical TBR so I can properly make room on my shelves, because I do definitely have books on the floor that do not fit on my shelves. I'd love to know what book you bought most recently, and have you read it already? Are you one of those people who can like buy a book and then instantly read it? Or will it sit on your shelves for a while like me? Because my books definitely do that. Unless they're a book club book, they'll be there for a long time, usually. Right, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.